for you by Central Bank, the hometown bank of your St. Louis Cardinals. Visit cardinalschecking.com and buy your quality Ford dealers Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 48 years. We've reached the quarter pole in the race that is the 2026 season, Brad. 42 games left for the Cardinals as they hope to sneak into the playoffs as a wild card. Some big milestones to look forward to, perhaps. Can Jordan Walker be a 30-homer man?
Yeah, I'd say absolutely. Look, we've seen Jordan Walker be able to go on tears throughout this season. No reason to believe over the next quarter of the season that he couldn't hit 7 more. What a transition it has been for this man. I can't wait to see what he's got in store.
Fun to see a lineup have not one but 2 sluggers in the middle of the lineup, but 2 guys a chance for triple digits and ribbies.
Chip, I would love to see that. The organization would love to see a couple of guys drive in 100. The big key, can people continue to set the table so these guys can clear it up? But 2 of the most dangerous hitters, they might not be household names yet. I think Jordan Walker went on that stage at the All-Star game, but Walker and Burleson are as dangerous as they come.
Riley O'Brien currently in a tie for first in saves in the National League. What are the odds for him to lead the league in saves?
Well, I don't see any reason why he couldn't. Look, you know the Cardinals play tight games. That's what they do. He has saved 50% of the games that they have won, right? Down the stretch, you hope that the offense gives a little bit more cushion, but Riley O'Brien is going to be pivotal to this group. Could absolutely see him leading the league in saves.
And where would the Cardinals be without J.J. Weatherholt, their former first-round pick who's done everything? Is he your Rookie of the Year this year?
He's my Rookie of the Year. I don't get to vote, but he is the odds-on winner right now, or odds-on leader to win Rookie of the Year. Obviously, Sal Stewart of the Reds in on that mix as well, but I think that he has done everything. It defensively really is what puts J.J. over the top in my eyes for Rookie of the Year, but from the beginning of the season to now, this kid has done nothing but impress.
So, as they say in horse racing, down the stretch they come. 42 games left in the regular season. A big series for the Cardinals and Phillies. The Redbirds trying to gain some ground on the Fightins in the playoff race. Rubber game is coming up. Leahy and Wheeler get it started on a beautiful day for a ball game in downtown St. Louis next. Well, it's a wonderful Wednesday for a chance to win a series against another really good ball club. The Cardinals and the Phillies meet in downtown St. Louis. Brad Thompson, it's the 3rd, final, and rubber game of this series. 2 very interesting games, and with the win last night, here's where the Cardinals stand in the National League wild card.
Yeah, look, 3.5 games back. There is going to be a battle down the stretch here in the NL wild card, but what more can you ask for? Down the stretch, meaningful games for a young ball club. Going to learn a lot about these Cardinals, and boy, going to learn a lot on a warm day today here in St. Louis.
Yeah, 94 degrees, feels like temperature 106. Jim Hayes braving the hot weather in the Cardinals dugout. We'll check in with him in a moment. But speaking of hot, how about the work Kyle Leahy has done in his last 6 starts for the Cardinals? You can make the case, Brad, he's been one of, if not the most effective starters in the National League during that run.
Well, he certainly has. Here's how he's doing it. The pitch arsenal, the 6-pitch mix, uses that 4-seam well, getting a lot of swing and miss with the curveball, slider, changeup, sweeper, and the sinker here for Kyle Leahy, who early in the season, look, there were some rough patches. There were some times where he looked a little bit off, but he was still trying to figure things out. He was trying to figure out what the routine looks like. He's got that part figured out, and hopefully he can figure out a tough Mattingly lineup here.
Yeah, the Phillies have kind of hit the skids just a bit. They're actually 3 games under 500 when they play the National League Central. They still have a very fierce Menards starting lineup. They don't strike out a lot. They walk a lot, but they haven't, Brad, done a ton of damage, knock on wood, so far in the first 2 games.
Yep, to keep it right there, right? The Cardinals pitching staff overall has done a really nice job in this one to be able to limit some damage. Hopefully you can limit the opportunity in this ball game. Some early outs would be nice. One thing that the Phillies have done really well, be selective in this series. They have made the Cardinals pitchers work. You'd love to see a quick first inning here for Kyle.
So the other Kyle Schwarber, gets things started, rolls 1 foul off to the right, and no balls and a strike. Last 5 games for the Phillies, 38 walks, 37 strikeouts. You're right, they are very selective. Schwarber 3 for 6 head-to-head with the Cardinals, and that evens up the count. 35 homers for Schwarber, 69 ribbies, batting .251 on the season. 2 balls and a strike. Leahy coming off a terrific game against the Rockies. 5 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs. Most importantly, 8 strikeouts, no walks. He's won his last 3 decisions and is seeking win number 9 today. Cardinals wrapping up the homestand with Philadelphia. We've got a 3-city road trip that starts on Friday. It would be nice to have a happy off day in Chicago if St. Louis could win this very important series. We've got one more left with the Phillies at the end of that upcoming trip for Ollie and the rest of the Cardinals.
Well, 3 cities, Chip. How heavy is your suitcase? Got a feeling that that's not going to be ready for a Southwest flight, that's for sure.
Schwarber took a changeup, and you saw that nod of the head in acknowledgement. Leahy outguessed him. Terrific pitch, good result. Leadoff man retired in the Phillies first.
Well, we just told you about the pitch mix for Kyle Leahy. That change there, able to keep Schwarber off stride, up in the zone, but in that count wasn't looking for it. He showed a little bit of everything in that first at bat.
Trey Turner is next, the Phillies shortstop. He's 1 for 2. He's walked a couple of times. 17 homers, 47 ribbies for Trey Turner. That strikeout for Leahy, a milestone, 100. The first time he's recorded a 100 strikeout campaign. And we hope the first of many. Slider, 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, I like where that one is right there. Good slider down and away. That's been an issue too for Trey Turner, so staying down there, that's where you're going to have the most success.
The Cardinals did that a couple of times to Trey last night. Not intentional, but that caught his attention. Let's see if that outside corner is in the offing here.
It actually seemed to happen like that last night too. They were breaking balls that just came off arm side, but then used it well. Instead of the breaking ball, ran the sinker at 95. Got plenty of life up in the zone right now, does Leahy.
Dusty Blake looking on as Turner pops one into shallow right. And Jordan's going to squeeze that. 2 up, 2 down. Leahy, 2 outs, 12 pitches. A look at how the Cardinals line up defensively. Boy, they had a good game with the gloves last night. That was instrumental in their 2-0 win. Fermin, Church, and Walker left to right in the outfield. Standard infield alignment till you get to third, where it's Cesar Prieto, and Jimmy Crooks is back in harness with Kyle Leahy. Ivan Herrera is the Cardinals' DH. Here's Harper. Harper 0 for 5 in the series. He's hitting 3 double plays. He's reached base, however, in 16 straight for Philadelphia. And just off the plate, says Diane Iasonia. He's got the home plate assignment for Game 3. DJ Rayburn, Louis Krupa, and Adam Beck are on the bases here at Busch. Two balls and a strike. Harper closing in on 400 career homers. He's 12 away from that. And after the Phillies leave St. Louis, they've got the Twins next. He's enjoyed, has Harper, facing the Cardinals in his career. He's going to see a 3-1 here, and he took it right down Clark Street. Full count. Luis Arraez is the Phillies cleanup man. He's on deck. And strike 3. Harper dropped the bat. He wants to challenge. The Cardinals start to throw it around the horn. ABS power by T-Mobile. Who's right? It's a strike. Harper's rung up, and Leahy has a couple of strikeouts. Phillies lose a first inning challenge. Cardinals go to work against Zach Wheeler in Game 3 next.
Ba, 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 ba.
Impressive start for Kyle Leahy. Let's see if the Cardinals offense can be as impressive in their first inning. J.J. Weather holds atop your Menards starting lineup. Jordan Walker, Nathan Church, Mason Wynn, a big hit last night. Hit 6th, then Prieto, Fermin, and Jimmy Crook 7th, 8th, and 9th. They'll have their hands full. Zach Wheeler, a 10-game winner. 132 strikeouts, Brad, and 110 innings pitched.
Yeah, Zach Wheeler, as we talked about in the pregame, has been one of the best in the business ever since he put on that Phillies jersey. Always an electric arm, but has really turned into one of the best pitchers. Take a look at the pitch arsenal here for Zach Wheeler. He's got a 6-pitch mix. 4-seam, split fingers, really good. Sinker, sweeper, cutter, and the curveball from Wheeler.
That one is in for a strike for Weather. Holt Wheeler, 36 years out of Metro Atlanta. Was originally drafted by the Giants, traded to was involved in a deal that involved Carlos
went to
Beltran
the Mets.
to the Mets, right? And a challenge here. Phillies are challenging this pitch, and they're right. That would have cost them their second one if they were wrong. Realmuto doesn't challenge a lot, but he guessed correctly here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So a 6th overall pick for Beltran turned out great for the Mets, and then Wheeler, a free agent, went to the Phillies. And JJ couldn't check his swing. He's down on strikes. That's how the Cardinals first starts. And here's the Phillies defense. Let's start in the outfield. Marsh, Crawford, and Harper left to right. Bryson Stott's made all the plays in his early days as a third baseman for the Phillies, with Turner Arise and Alec Boehm on that shuffled infield. And of course, 2-time Gold Glover JT Realmuto behind the plate. Ivan Herrera has hits in 9 of 11 games he's played against Philadelphia. And driven out of play, no balls, 1 strike. That young fan came away with a souvenir. Nice catch. Up and in for Herrera.
Yeah, first inning. The day is made already. Now everything on top of that is just nothing but popcorn candy, cotton candy.
Yeah.
Hot dogs, nachos.
I'm in. That sounds like a perfect day before school starts. The pitch. Herrera 2 for 9 in the series. Wheeler sets and fires, and right off the knuckles. Ooh, that was nasty. It bought Wheeler a strike.
This is the definition of getting in on the hands right here. I mean, this was a couple of inches right off the tape there on the handle.
Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts. Herrera thought that was in the dirt, but he won't get the break. Wheeler has struck out the first 2.
Well, this is a nasty curveball, and it's pitching 101. Get in on the hands, then go away with the breaking stuff. And one of the bigger keys for the Cardinals, really your Toyota key to the game against Wheeler, be picky, especially early in counts. This guy knows how to pitch. He wants to get you to expand. Cardinals hitters have to know their zone, where they want to attack early. If it's not there, let it go. You can open up a bit more with 2 strikes. This one's laced down the line, but foul. Tough play out in right field for the attendant. Good hustle after the baseball, though. But it's going to be very imperative early to know where your go zone's going to be.
Wheeler, the definition of a true ace. He's no kid. He's 36 years young. He said next year will probably be his last as a big league pitcher. And look at that movement. Nasty cutter, 0-2 the count. He's won 123 big league games. He's lost 78. And he's creeping closer to 2,000 career strikeouts. Aaron Nola, his teammates, already done that this year in Philadelphia.
Pretty good group.
Yeah.
Pretty good group.
Here comes the 1-2. And he just struck out the side. Whatever issues Wheeler had in his first three starts, or his last three starts, I beg your pardon, not evident in his first inning today. He strikes out three Cardinals, and we head to the second scoreless.
Bye.
Scoreless after one. Kyle Leahy on the mound. Jim Hayes, he's on quite a roll.
Yeah, he picked up his 8th win of the season versus Colorado in his last start. Bit unusual for Kyle as he gave up 8 hits over 5 innings, had a lot of traffic to deal with. He said afterwards, I don't think I got a leadoff hitter out in any inning. He admitted didn't have his best stuff. With the traffic, he said you just have to wiggle your way out of it. And Kyle, to his credit, has allowed 2 runs or less, guys, in 8 straight. That's pretty good.
That's really good, and that's the evolution, right? Is even when you might not have your pinpoint control, or even when you might not feel your best, like how do you pitch? How do you battle? How do you compete? As this one is lifted out to left, that's going to be the first out of the inning here for Kyle Leahy and the Cardinals. Like Chip, I think that he's done such a good job of just competing and then making adjustments on the fly throughout this season.
Yeah, he's up to 113 innings now, and I think that's the next question mark that Kyle and the Cardinals have to address. 88 innings, I believe, was his high last year. How many more innings will he have left over the last 7 weeks?
Yeah, his high career was 159, but that was back in 2022, and that does include the Arizona Fall League, right? So, I mean, that was a long time ago. Yeah. You're not going to base anything off of those numbers. From here on out with Kyle Leahy, you're going to see a lot of 5 and dive. You're going to see 5 innings. You might even see 5 innings, 60-something pitches, and he ends up coming out of the game because I feel like you want to keep him healthy for the rest of the season. I know that they've been digging in on the numbers. There might be some days where it's an inning limit, some days that it's a pitch limit, some days that we'll be watching, and hopefully this happens a lot. We'll be watching like, man, why would he come out of the game this early? Well, that's why. You're trying to make sure you're limiting the workload for Kyle Leahy, but he's done nothing but impress.
Bryson Stott behind 0-2, and that's slashed down the line. And before fans get caught up in, oh, this is an analytical decision, no, the Cardinals are very much aware that all innings are not the same. If he has a stretch where he has 5 innings and 45, 50 pitches, they might be able to stretch him if needed. But if he labors, you're right. They're going to be very cautious with Kyle going forward.
Yeah, and you should. I mean, you gave him an opportunity this season to see what it looks like in this rotation. Certainly a lot of work to be done down the stretch, but he has proven that that was the right call. That was a good idea, that everything that they saw in him that they liked, that they thought could translate to the rotation, has in fact done so. You want to be able to build off of that for next year. You don't want to run this guy into the ground.
Base is empty, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and fouled away. Baseball is always cyclical. This is the way teams used to turn guys into starters. They'd serve an apprenticeship, if you will, in the bullpen, and when they learned how to pitch effectively up here, if they had the pitches and the makeup, slot them into the starting rotation. You were a starter later in your career, Brad. How did your work in the bullpen prepare you for what Kyle is now doing as a starter?
Yeah, I think a few things. One, it gets you to realize, and a lot of guys have talked about this over the last couple of years, Libby being one of them, even Steven Matz when he went from the rotation to the pen. But it teaches you how to be on the attack early. Because, like, there's not the thought of, okay, first time around, second time around, third time around. It's, hey, here's my best stuff. Let's go attack. And I think that mentality is a really good one. And then just having that realization, again, if you can ease a guy into a starting role by starting in the bullpen, letting them realize, hey, my stuff plays here. Like, I belong in the big leagues.
Bryson Stott, nice piece of hitting. That was a 9-pitch at bat. And he has the first hit of the game for Philadelphia. Clean single. 2 straightaway left. MLB Plus is new for 2026. Stream MLB Network 24/7 in the U.S. and select out-of-market games every week. Plus live radio broadcasts of every game, Game Day 3D, Big Inning, and minor league action. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus and subscribe today. Keep an eye on Stott. He's 23 for 23 in steals. And Brandon Marsh, your next batter. Marsh 2 for 8 in the series, hitting .274 on the year with 16 homers. He was an all-star for Philly. Tip of the cap to the folks at Citizens Bank Park. They put on a great show for the all-star game. That flip is to Mason. Cannon to first is going to be in time. They doubled up Marsh. Didn't think they had a chance. And let's see if the Phillies challenge one or both of these bang-bang plays, first at second and then at first. The Cardinals not so sure, but now they are. The Phillies will not challenge. Mason Wynn steals a double play. Marsh rolls into it, and we are still scoreless.
Welcome to Jock in the Box.
Like the Phillies that have power up and down the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, you got to stay away from their strong spots where they're able to do damage to you, and especially with runners on base. So knowing where you got to go to limit damage and keep them on the ground is super important.
You have been on a roll over your last 4 starts. Your ERA is like 1. What's different? What have you added to get to another level?
I just feel like I've been making competitive pitches throughout the count, whether I'm behind or ahead of the counts. And, there's always a little bit of luck in the game, right? So we got a runner on third, getting double plays huge, and making sure, just a little fortunate with some batted ball luck, but also been attacking my good spots really well, which we know leads to good results.
We've seen some guys kind of fall prey to the heat, right? You got to manage it. How do you do that?
Making sure you're hydrating, spending some time out here during the day so you get used to the hot weather.
What happened?
Hooray! A hit.
Base hit for George.
But yeah, just making sure you're getting acclimated to the hot weather, hydrating, eating lots of fruits, stuff like that helps with that.
Kyle Leahy is part of the rotation that's very, very close. So what are the keys for him today?
Same thing. Mix in his pitches. He's got he's got so many really good pitches that he can mix and move around the zone, show him down, away, down and in, up and away. He's able to control all parts of the zone, so continue to do that. He was a little upset with me using all the double plays yesterday, but I guess there's enough to go around. He's already got one today, so hopefully we keep seeing some of those.
Got to do what you got to do. Thanks for the chat.
Hey, you're welcome.
Chip, the good news is that Ali was standing here before we came on, and I thought it was going to be a long interview for me. Luckily, he went back to his position up there.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're a multi-Emmy award-winning broadcaster, Jim. They know not to mess with you when you're performing as well as you did.
Yeah, I told you. Look, I'm focused, all right? Yeah. This is regional cable journalism, and I am locked in. Locked in.
E3 on Alec Boehm as Walker takes off. Good jump. Real Muto's throw is way high, and Jordan Walker has his 16th stolen base, creeping ever closer to a 2020 campaign.
I like this, man. We saw it last night. Jordan Walker used his speed after a walk, stole, and then ended up scoring the game's first run on Mason Wynn's RBI single to right. Use it. Use that skill set. We spent so much time talking about the power, and boy, is that exciting. But Jordan Walker's got the complete package. The great arm. He's turned himself into a plus defender out in the outfielder. He's got the power and certainly has that speed.
So he's in scoring position for Nathan Church, who's got a hit in 9 of his last 10 games. Cardinals try to break through against Zach Wheeler after an error and a steal. And down the line, that's going to drop in for a base hit. Walker will score. Church streaking towards second. Throw cut off. It's a double. It's 1-0 St. Louis.
How about Church going up and getting one right here, Chip? This is 95 miles an hour at the top that he's able to stay on top of and get it down the line. Chevy pitch track on that 95. Inside out. Great read there by Jordan. He scores easily and on the hustle, able to trade places.
And that sets it up for Mason Wynn, who has an RBI in 4 straight games. Mason put on a show defensively. He's done that again today. As another challenge. This time, JT Realmuto will challenge the ball call. And he's right.
Dan Iasonia is not seeing that part of the strike zone early. That's two well in the zone down and in that have had to be challenged.
1-0 Cardinals in the second. The pitch. I love what Ollie said about Mason's game at the plate last night, and he repeated it to us today in our pregame conversation. He loves what Mason is doing at the plate. He's doing what the game calls for offensively.
That's a great point, and it's something we saw. And last night he called for going the other way. Got a runner in scoring position. You know you're going to get attacked that direction. Go for it. There are going to be times where the game calls for, situation calls for. Maybe it's a little pull side power. A guy's tendency is to come inside on that inner half of the plate. So you go ahead and let it rip in there, but he's done a really nice job as of late of using the entire field, cutting down that swing a little bit, and then in situations like this with 2 strikes, shortening up even more and using the other side of the field.
A lot of room right side of the diamond between Arise and Bohm. Church a good lead. The pitch. And he spit on that and a full count. So Mason, our Bet 365 betting odds today. Those are the numbers for Mason to pick up another hit. He's got 3 of them in the series, and he's knocked in 2 runs. And he'll take a timeout here with a full count. First ding in the defensive armor for the Phillies we've seen in this series. Alec Bohm couldn't handle a hard hit ball. That turns into an error in the first run. And strike 3. Mason Wynn is retired. 4 punch outs for Wheeler. That was nasty. Good fastball at the knees. 1 out.
But a good fastball played really well off of the slider that he had missed before. So this is 96 dotted down and away. It comes out of that same slot. Wynn thought it was going to be the slider that would go off the plate, and Wheeler just made it come right back for strike 3.
Cesar Prieto still looking for that first hit. He is 0 for 26.
Yeah, might as well check a couple of boxes here. Get the first hit, get the first RBI of 2026 at the big league level for Prieto, a guy, again, that's done nothing but hit throughout the minor leagues his entire career. I'm sure that for him, you feel like you're pressing a little bit. You always do feel like you're down in the count, although ahead in this one. But they know he can hit. Just hopefully he can unleash it. They're going to come in bunches when they do.
Ground ball right side. That'll get Church to third, but it cost the Cardinals their second out. And Fermin is your batter. He's 2 for 5 in the series. So he advanced the runner, but 2 men are out. And Fermin looks to pick up RBI number 28. He's reached base in 9 of his last 16 plate appearances. That's what's been fun about the offense on this homestand, Brad. The Cardinals have gotten chances to score, and they've cashed in a good number of them.
Oh, they have. And look, Jose Fermin continues to find himself in the thick of things, right? He seems to come up in big spots, and he's been coming through more often than not. He's had a nice little homestand here. He's been selective too. 5 walks on this homestand. He's going to make Wheeler come to him.
One ball, 1 strike. Church, good lead at third. The pitch. Rolled to the left side. Nice pick. Stott, 360 spin, and Bohm dug that out. That was pretty. Bryson Stott's made all the plays. The Cardinals manufacture the game's first run. Walker reaches on an error, steals second, and scores on a double by that man, Nathan Church, as we head to the third.
Let's go places.
Brett, I know you're a sensational matchmaker. What do you think the odds are of that relationship working out?
Not great. Not great at all. Obviously, he's pretty steadfast in his conviction. He's going to wear a silly jersey even if that team's not in town. She's not going to put up with that much longer. Probably lost a bet. That's why they're here. I'm just kidding. I hope they're great. Hope they're having a great time. Nope, she's not having it. Well, it's a good run.
JT Realmuto leads off the third. Kyle Leahy has a 1-0 lead.
They do say opposites attract.
Well, or
though.
love is blind. Take your pick, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
1-0 Cardinals. Real Muto, 8 homers, 38 driven in, and off stride. You said it early in the series, and I think you're right, and it's been proven so far. As good as this Phillies offense can be, you have to think your stuff is better than their ability to hit it. Attack in the zone, make them work.
Yeah, don't be afraid of contact, especially as good as this Cardinals defense has been. You want to be the team that is on the attack. Are there going to be spots where you pitch around guys? Absolutely. Are there going to be spots where you're going for the strikeout? For sure. This would be one of them here for Kyle Leahy, as you have JT Real Muto down 1-2.
And swing and a miss. Leahy's got his third strikeout in as many innings. And the strikeouts are beginning to pile up for Kyle as he learns how to better use that terrific arsenal.
Well, how about the changeup right on right here? Chevy pitch track, and this has been the best changeup that he's thrown all game. And this will happen sometimes. All the other changeups have been to the left-handers. Oftentimes when you're throwing that pitch to a right-hander, you really know you have to get on top of it so it doesn't sail arm side and you end up hitting somebody. That was a nice adjustment, got the depth that he wanted on that pitch. We'll see if he can mimic it later against more of the left-handed batters.
Alec Boehm, now the first baseman for the Phillies, takes another strike. Leahy on the attack as he faces the 8th Phillies hitter on the day. Lined into center. He hung that one. And Boehm was all over it. That's the second Phillies hit. So 1 on, 1 out. Justin Crawford is next. Hope you join us as David Eckstein joins us Saturday, August 29th for Cardinals Conversations presented by Edward Jones. Experience a Q&A session with the 2006 World Series MVP followed by an autograph session. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/conversations.
Chip, you and I get the opportunity to host these Cardinal Conversations oftentimes. They are so much fun. And a lot of times you think that you know everything about a player because you followed him and you've read all the stories. Getting a chance to hear directly from them, and by the way, ask your own questions in these conversations, it is oftentimes very, very fan and crowd led. They're a blast, and David's great at these.
A 1 pitch and a base hit the other way. Crawford, a nice piece of hitting. Golf that baby. And back-to-back hits sends it to the top of the order, and Kyle Schwarber.
Sometimes you just got to give a hitter a little bit of credit. I feel like this would be one of those times. Change up, down, away, under the zone, off the plate, and just off the end of the bat. Hit it where they ain't. That's what they say the name of the game is, and Crawford able to do that there.
Well, Schwarber took a changeup for strike 3 to start the game. Let's see what Leahy does the second time around. Cardinals have turned 8 double plays in this series. Number 9 here would be just fine with us. Kyle Schwarber is a big man. He hits the ball in the air. How many double plays do you think Schwarber's hit into? This is game 116.
All right, so big guy hits ball in the air. Game 116. I say he's hit into 7.
You're close. It was 1.
Oh, well, single digits. 1. Sounds like a good time for 2, doesn't it?
There you go. Bryce Harper leads, or excuse me, a second on their team to Alec Boehm, who's hitting 16 of them. Cardinals got a double play in the second. Mason Wynn with the turn. Phillies threaten here in a 1-run game. He's got good stuff. 1 ball, 2 strikes. If you wonder how many double plays the Cardinals have turned in one series for a season high, that's 9. They doubled up the Dodgers 9 times back in May here in St. Louis. Because of the networks, I think you and I did maybe 2 innings of that series. So that's a.
You think so? Yeah, I didn't remember that many double plays.
Distant memory. 1-2 pitch. Right across the shoes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Off day in Chicago tomorrow, or Chicago if you prefer.
I don't.
You don't?
No, it's just hard to say for me. Chicago. It like feels like you're swallowing it. No, thank you. Chicago.
2-2. Strike 3. Schwarber's going to challenge. It's a big call here. The Phillies, if he's wrong, are out of challenges. He is, and they are. Leahy strikes him out again. 4 of them, 2 outs.
That changeup at the top of the zone, I don't think that's where Kyle is trying to put that one necessarily, but it is a difficult one to pull the trigger on. That's 2 strikeouts with that changeup at the top.
So a big second out. Turner is next. He flied out to right. Back up and out of play. Off to our right. Fans will scramble for the souvenir. And a young fan with an Arenado jersey came away with that baseball. Two one. Little number. Get to the bag, Kyle. The shovel is going to be in time. And Leahy works around a couple of third-inning singles. He struck out 4. He leads Zach Wheeler and the Phillies 1-0 in inning number 3. St. Louis Cardinals baseball is presented by your Mid-America Chevy dealers, by BJC Healthcare, you deserve extraordinary care, and by Amazon. Spend less on your kids for back to school. Yeah, school's right around the corner, kiddos. Sorry about that. We're not sorry about this score. Cardinals lead it 1-0.
My kids are back already today.
Really?
Already back to school. Starts early.
A national holiday for many parents, but a depressing day for so many of America's youth.
Yeah, it's one of those, hey, so sad to see you go. Summer went so fast. See you later. Don't forget to buy lunch. Maybe there's money on your account. Who knows?
Jimmy Crooks leads off, swings the first one, and skies it toward Martian left. He's struggling. He can't find it, but in center, Crawford bailed him out, and good communication turns into out number 1.
Chip, were you a buy a lunch or bring a lunch kid?
Let me think about that.
Or maybe there was a transition at some point.
I don't know how to answer that. I was a buy a lunch guy. There was nothing better than that awful square pizza. Remember that?
The square pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys have the one? We always had the one at school where obviously it had the film on top, where they just take the little film off, like the plastic wrap, and then they'd hand it to you in like a little pan type thing.
No.
It was not good.
You must have gone to a rich school.
No. That and then some chunky chocolate milk.
Chunky. Woof. 1 ball, 1 strike for JJ. Got to get him going. He was out on a check swing strikeout to start the game. Yeah, the cafeteria milk was always like 50 degrees too. Remember that?
Yeah, this is not cold enough.
Yep.
That's not gonna. I mean,
fan.
maybe cold enough to keep bacteria away. Probably not. But you know, kids were tougher then. Who knows now? Seems like lunches have gotten a lot better. I go travel around schools with Fred Bird doing our Cardinals kids programs, and it always smells good around the schools. They got some good lunches at some of these places.
Ball 4. JJ takes a walk. He's reached on a base on balls at 11 of 14. Glad you clarified that. 1 on, 1 out.
These are sanctioned events, not just showing up at schools.
All right, let's add on here. Herrera struck out his first look at Zach Wheeler. This guy is scorching hot. 11 of his last 22 hits have been for extra bases. Stott hugs the line at third. And this one shot towards short. Turner to second one. And the relay to first is in time. Wheeler with a double play of his own sends us to inning number 4. From the field to finance, the Stiefel patch on every Cardinals jersey represents more than a logo. It's a symbol of strength, strategy, and success. From investment banking to wealth management, Stiefel helps clients pursue their financial goals. The Cardinals' goal today: win a series against a club in front of them in the wild card chase. Cardinals won last night 2-0. Kyle Leahy's made a run stand up through 3 innings on this hot afternoon at Busch Stadium. And he'll start with Harper, Arise, and Bryson Stott. Harper struck out in the first inning. He used up one of the Phillies' challenges. They are out of challenges the rest of the way in a close game. So Leahy has the luxury of pitching to the corners and hoping for a favorable call from the home plate umpire the rest of the way.
You don't see that very often, do you? A team that burns both of them early in a ball game. It is, it's a different thing obviously with the ABS now, but that's a bigger advantage late in the game.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Phillies. He's got them in playoff position. At the deadline, they've shuffled their infield. They entered this series with their bullpen on fumes. They haven't had to use a lot of their relievers in the first 2 games. And after today, they head to play the Twins. That one down the left field line, curling, and that is a fair ball. Harper didn't run out of the box, but he's going to sprint to second and stand safely with a leadoff double. Harper thought that was going to go foul. It didn't, but no chance for Fermin to catch it. It dived the wall, and Harper's aboard.
Yeah, I got to be honest, I thought this was going to go foul as well. Oftentimes off the bat of the left-hander, that's going to keep on tailing. It did hang on, though. Even if he's busting out of the box, I don't think he ends up getting 3 where this one lands in the corner. But an opportunity here for Kyle Leahy to pitch out of a little bit of trouble. This is something that he's done a really good job of being able to execute.
Arise flied out to left to start the second inning. And he jumps on the first one and hits it off the netting foul. Arise, 16 straight at bats without a hit. That is unusual. That's also what scares you in this spot. These are 0 for their last 11 with a runner in scoring position in the series. Arise hitting .363 with runners in scoring position, and he has only struck out twice in 80 at bats. Ripped into the corner. That's going to tie the game. It's fair. That'll bounce into the stands. Arise with a double, and the Phillies are on the board. It's a 1-1 game. It was only a matter of time until that guy got going. He trades places with Bryce Harper. We're tied up in the 4th.
Well, Leahy just ends up missing a spot here. He's got the breaking ball that he wanted, just couldn't quite get it down to the zone. That side swing gives you an opportunity to see just how lightning fast the hands of Arise are. He's able to get to that thing quickly.
It's an interesting lineup construction. We talked about this briefly last night. If you missed it, it's worth repeating again as Bryson Stott digs in. He singled his first time up. Arise is a modern day Tony Gwynn. And I'm not saying he's on par with Tony, but his skill set is very similar. Ball in play, doesn't strike out much, racks up his hits. He doesn't walk like Tony Gwynn did. But hitting him fourth instead of second or third in a modern lineup, which is where Gwynn spent most of his time, it's really a unique way that Don Mattingly has his first 4 and 5 hitters set up on the lineup card.
Yeah, maybe a lot of that too is one of the points that you brought up there, that he doesn't walk a ton, right? So it's not, he hits, hits for average, but the on-base percentage isn't quite as high. Also not a burner, but you just think that his skill set in general, you'd want to put that in front of some of the monsters that they have in front, but they like his bat-to-ball skills where he's at.
Bang, bang play at first. Stott's retired, but he advances a rise to third with 1 out. Good arm for Mason Wynn, and a good result for the Phillies at the moment. So that is an interesting question too. In today's game, where Tony Gwynn in his prime, how would he be valued by today's big league front offices?
And it's hard to say. It really is, because we know that this game, at least financially, benefits power, right? And Tony Gwynn, while he certainly had plenty of that, he was a hit machine. I mean, he would rack them up. He'd take advantage of any defensive alignment that you would want. We've talked about this in the past. If you ever tried a shift when the shift was legal, he tried that on Tony Gwynn, he would pick you apart. Like, you couldn't do something like that. But the game right now, and Arise is a good example of it. Luis Arise he's a 3-time batting champ and a free agent last year. He signs a 1-year deal. Like, that's all these other guys that are putting up power numbers. You're signing long-term contracts, $20+ million. And look, he's making a lot of money. It's a 1-year, $12 million deal, but it's not the same as any of these guys that are putting up some of the slugging numbers. What do you think when it comes to Gwynn? I want that guy on my team.
Yeah, somehow, some way. It's just a matter of where you line him up and what kind of guys you have around him, right? Think about the on-base ability of a guy like Arise getting his hits, and then you have thumpers that get on base and make constant contact behind him. But also the problems you face if you hit him behind your on-base guys. That's the juggling act for Don Mattingly. So far, it's worked out today. Marsh stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You never faced Tony Gwynn, right?
No, did not. I have told you before, I had the opportunity one time to meet Tony Gwynn at a Christmas camp, Las Vegas Baseball Academy, as a kid, and it was like a starstruck moment. And I had saved up enough Frosted Flakes tabs to get another strikeout with a changeup for Leahy. Big strikeout with a runner on third. That's number 5 of the day for Kyle. But I had saved up enough box tops where I could send in for a Tony the Tiger baseball from the company, okay? And I got this Tony the Tiger baseball, and I brought it to this baseball camp and had Tony Gwynn sign it. And he looked at it and he goes, "Got to be honest, this is the first one of these I've ever signed. I like that."
Nice.
And it was like, I still have it. I still have the Tony the Tiger baseball from Tony Gwynn. One of the nicest men ever.
Yeah, I got to work with Tony on TBS for the playoffs, and look, we can talk about what a great hitter he was, what a great ambassador he was. The thing I miss most is hearing Tony Gwynn laugh. He had one of the most remarkable belly rippling laughs.
Yes.
When you tickled him, he really loved the laugh.
And what I really enjoy listening to Padres games now is getting a chance to hear his son, Tony Gwynn Jr. The two of them, you close your eyes, you're hearing the same voice, right? The same enjoyment, excitement, and love for the game.
Well, Real Muto is up with a man at third and 2 outs. Leahy has struck out 5 men. He has allowed 5 hits. The pitch rolled to the left side. Arise applauds Real Muto's good work to stay alive here. Oh, 2. So pitch 69 coming up for Kyle Leahy. And another happy young lady will end up with a souvenir. Love it. 0-2. Didn't stick. Tough break. Phillies are having trouble timing that changeup, and I will keep saying it. That is becoming a big weapon for big league staffs to counteract hitters who can handle velocity and spin.
Well, the changeup usage is up in this ball game today. I mean, you knew with a bunch of lefties in there you'd have to lean on it, but I like the fact that he's throwing it against the righties as well.
Cook sets up away. He got it there. Leahy strikes out 2 in a row. And after back-to-back doubles, all the Phillies can do is tie our game. Leahy has his A+ stuff. He's matching Zach Wheeler pitch for pitch in Game 3.
Listen to
Brad, if you're hungry for something big, bold, and stacked, you've got to check out the new Big Arch Burger at McDonald's. Maybe somebody can go up there in the 4th inning for the Cardinals. They've got their 3, 4, 5 batters coming up.
Well, would love to see that. You know, against Wheeler, it isn't going to be easy. 1 hit so far against the multi-time All-Star snub this year. Wasn't too happy about that one, rightfully so.
Well, Burley will get it started. He struck out his first time up. Burley's hitting .327 against right-handed pitching, .285 overall on the year, a career-high 81 RBIs. Love matchups like this. A silver slugger at the plate and a man closing in on 2,000 career strikeouts, hooking up for the 2nd time today. No balls, 2 strikes. So first a 4-seam fastball, then a split finger. Now Wheeler's got his entire arsenal to play with. Burleson riding a 3-game hit streak, 4 hits. They've had hot run at the plate. They'll try to untie the game with the 2nd Cardinals hit. And he gets hit. Back foot slider. That one hurt. And Burleson tomahawks the bat into the turf and slowly takes off the gear and makes his way to first.
Yeah, there's really not much gear for one like this. It was a curveball, back foot, pops up and hits him either in the ankle, side of the shin. We'll get a look at this one. Really wanted to try to tie him up, down and in. Oh yeah, that's going to hurt right there, right off the ankle bone.
Well, you know what happens. A guy gets hit by a pitch. The first thing they think about is stealing a base. Here's Walker.
Maybe the second thing.
Yeah, that's fine. Walker reached down an error, stole a base, and scored the Cardinals run on a Church opposite field double. And he almost wore one.
Well, the big key right now after that pitch, get right back in there because he's going to go away. It's going to be that slider, the sweeper on the outer half. Ooh, went back in, sinker, but did stay in there.
That's the cat and mouse game, isn't it? They buzz your tower, you start thinking, hey, he's going away, and then zip right back in on the hands.
I've seen a little bit of it in this series. That Walk has extended his zone, expanded a little bit more than he's wanted to.
Little roller hit towards short. That might be 2. But Walker's speed beats the play at first. That was a slow developing play with Trey Turner, who's had some defensive issues. But they get the lead runner Burleson. Walker at first for Nathan Church. Friday, August 28th, it's Country Music Night at Busch Stadium. With your theme ticket, fans take home a Country Music Night Cardinals t-shirt and a pregame concert featuring live music. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/theme. Now wait a minute, that hat that gentleman was wearing, does that qualify as a country or western hat? As this one popped towards center, Crawford broke back, drifting out a rise. He's got it. And 2 are out.
No.
I'm with you.
No, it does not.
It's like an Indiana Jones fedora.
Yeah, I need a satchel with that.
Jim's got a satchel. Take it away, Cat.
Yeah, since June 18th, Mason Wynn is batting .400 with runners in scoring position. Mason said probably a result of the work he's been doing in the cage. He said it was actually some of the stuff they were working on with jaywalk, and it really helped me. He said we were both kind of getting around the ball with the back elbow. Guys, he said dropping the elbow has helped create a more direct swing path for him, and he's getting better contact and doing very well at the plate of late, Chip.
Hey, think about that, the process of the swing. When that elbow stays tight, the hands are able to get through and the barrel goes straight to the baseball. When you start casting around, your swing gets bigger. You do get, I mean, you can picture it around the ball. That's where you're going to get a lot of ground balls to the left side, or you're going to be late on some pitches. So that direct path to the baseball, and you see him actually warming up right there with his swing. Hands are inside, really making sure he's tucking that right elbow in. That hard work pays off. I know it's the little things, and oftentimes young kids think big leaguers don't they don't hit off the tee, they don't work on these things. Oh yeah, they do every single day. It's about having a routine. It's about doing all of the little things to make it when you get to the game, when you get to these spots, you don't have to think about it. That muscle memory's there.
Wheeler hit the first batter. He's got 2 outs and 2 strikes for Mason Wynn. And upstairs, change the eye level for the Cardinals shortstop. Mason struck out his first time up. He's got an RBI in 4 straight games. We'd like that hot streak to continue. In the air toward left center. Marsh on the run is slowing. No trouble with the sun that time. And the side is retired. We head to the 5th. Good game. 1-1 Cardinals and Phillies at Busch Stadium.
Local Hyundai dealer today.
Yeah, it's another lazy, crazy day of summer, if you will. It's Grant's Farm. Look at those beautiful Clydesdales frolicking around on a 100-degree day here in Metro St. Louis.
You should get one.
What?
A Clydesdale.
Really?
Yeah, I think that would be great. You have it here as a pet, and then when you go back to Florida, bring it with you.
Do that. I'm worried about zoning in Soulard. I don't know if they have a place for.
You'll be fine. You got a palatial estate. You'll be fine. You can hide that thing.
Bohm brushed back. Wheeler's had a couple of close calls with some Cardinals batters. He's hit one, and Bohm will catch his breath and go back to work.
Well, that will wake you up. 92 onto the chin with the sinker.
The Cardinals have a tie game despite 1 hit. 2 balls and a strike. One thing television doesn't do a great job is offering real perspective on how big and strong these athletes are. The same's true with the Clydesdales. You can't believe how big those horses are until you get to stand next to them. It's unreal.
Yes, it is and how sturdy. Like you just like touch it. Like how do you're not going to move it. There's nothing. Certainly can't ride that thing. And then they have to get them on the hitch. You have to find ones that are similar height.
Right.
Remember a few years ago, they had a Clydesdale named Jake, and Jake was taller than everybody, so they never could find anybody to be able to hitch up with him.
Oh, okay. To pair.
Yeah,
with
to
Jake?
pair with him. Yeah,
okay.
so he was kind of on a solo mission or had to lead on his own. But they are beautiful, beautiful creatures.
That's one of the best parts of opening day when they come out through the wagon gate. Full count pitch and driven to right. Walker can't get there, and the Phillies have their 6th hit. It's another leadoff man. It's in back-to-back innings for Philly, and they look to add to their lead here. Crawford with a base hit in the Phillies 3rd. He hit a good pitch from Leahy, a changeup that was darting down and away. He got bat to ball and served it to left. Ground ball. Got to turn this one quickly. Well, we'll concede the runner at second. Bohm moves up. Crawford advances Bohm into scoring position. Now the top of the order. And Schwarber. That's a smart play by JJ. Don't risk a big inning. Get the sure out. And one of the things you love about Weatherholt is he plays with youthful exuberance, but he doesn't play youthfully. He knows how to play. He has a terrific internal clock and an understanding of not panicking in a moment where a youngster might try to do too much.
No, you're right. Really good instincts.
And that's going to be rewarded. Schwarber swings the first one. Runner to third, 2 outs. Kyle wasn't getting 2 strikes in his third trip to the plate. Now you got to make a pitch to Trey Turner. Five ground ball outs, 6 strikeouts for Leahy. We'll see how far he carries the game. He's going to make his 80th pitch. No balls and a strike. In the air, that's going to be playable for Fermin. Kyle Leahy continues his mesmerizing work on the mound. 1-1 decision time for Oliver Marmol. Cardinals come up with the lower third in game 3. Hard to believe, partner, we've got 2 homestands left on our next one. Friday, August 28th, the Pirates are here. Fans 21 and up take home a City Connect quarter-zip pullover. That's courtesy of Budweiser. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions. The season has flown by. 42 games left, including today's. Cardinals at 60 and 60. I love what Tony La Russa said last night. You get to the final 2 months and you're at 500 or better, you got a shot. We'll see what the Cardinals can do with it.
Yeah, and again with this team, we knew that it was going to be a young group, and it is one of the youngest groups in all of baseball. You knew there'd be some learning on the job. And what better environment to learn than games that mean something down the stretch? You're going to see how you get the most out of each and every one of your guys. You're going to learn from those experiences, and hopefully it ends up being a very fun run, and who knows, maybe an October run for the Cardinals.
Wheeler's been very economical. 53 pitches with 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. Cesar Prieto, bases empty, and a 2-2 count. It is another hot, muggy day. Line, there it is. Look at Prieto. There's his first hit of the season. Now let's see if he asks for the ball. They're throwing it toward the dugout, so yeah, that'll go to the trophy case.
Well, that had been a long time coming, obviously, for Prieto. Look at the reaction here. Went down and scooped the changeup. Yes, a weight lifted off the back. And as we mentioned for him, McGreevy pumped up. Cardinals excited for their guy. When they start coming for Prieto, they're going to come in bunches. That ball authenticated. Real deal. You have it. The first hit of 2026 here for Cesar.
Snaps an 0 for 27. So now just get back to business. He's played well defensively. Get up there and swing the bat with confidence. He did that at Memphis, as you said. And he represents the go-ahead run. Fermin, your batter. They give him acreage in left center. Cardinals have an off day tomorrow. Not the case for the Phillies, Brad. They have a very interesting travel schedule ahead. They will be participating in the Field of Dreams game tomorrow, weather permitting, in Iowa. Their opponent, the Minnesota Twins. Then they'll head up to Minneapolis and wrap up that series at Target Field.
Have you ever been to the Field of Dreams?
I have not.
That man has. Well, actually, I don't even know if he's technically been to the Field of Dreams, but one of my favorite baseball movies.
Okay.
Ricky Horton is featured in the film, okay? And I can't tell you exactly when. 19 minutes, 57 seconds in. That text directly from Ricky.
That's hit to right, and Harper makes the nice catch near the line. And one man out.
Yeah, at the 19-minute, 57-second mark, you will see Ricky Horton, basically the star, alongside Kevin Costner in Field of Dreams.
I think Ricky did steal the adoration of the public in that movie.
At least at that minute mark, yeah, for sure. So, yeah, might want to check out the movie again.
Okay.
Be looking for Ricky Horton in there. But Field of Dreams is a place that I have not had the opportunity to go to yet. I want to. I mean, it's just one of those iconic baseball places. I love the Field of Dream game. I love the concept, the idea of it.
The guys walking in from the cornfield was cool. And then
like
Tim
Goosebumps.
Anderson hits the home run there a couple of years ago with the White Sox. That was awesome. Jimmy Crooks with a man aboard, one out. Major League Baseball does a really good job with their specialty games. We had our game in Birmingham a couple of years ago. We have seen Major League Baseball do games at the Martinsville Speedway, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, London, of course, all the international games that they put on. And I think the players really enjoy the uniqueness of it. Is it an inconvenience in a way? Yeah, but for the greater good and the growth of the game, I think all the guys get into the spirit of a one-off game that means so much to a lot of people who don't normally get to see a big league game.
Well, hopefully it's an opportunity to almost kind of be a kid again with it too, right? Just enjoy it, just go play. And certainly you're competing and every game means a lot, especially for a couple of teams that are in contention. But you can also enjoy the pomp and circumstance around something like that.
2 balls, 2 strikes for Mr. Crooks. Wheeler and Leahy dealing. The Cardinals bullpen is busy. Kyle has gone through 5 innings today. I think that tells you that the Cardinals are going to stick with their plan with Leahy, 5 innings at a time the rest of the way, as they try to build him up for what they hope will be a 30-start season with no limitations next year.
Yeah, it's a wise thing to do, right? You're trying to keep that guy as healthy as possible.
Boy, was that guy good. Pride of Lafayette High School, Ryan Howard in his day. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Get a good one to hit. Prieto has a short lead at first. Bohm holds him, not going, and Crooks spoiled that one. Interesting with Jimmy at the plate. On his right arm, you got the red sleeve. On the left arm, you've got the catcher's cheat sheet for his pitcher. He doesn't take that black wristband or forearm band off while he hits. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's comfortable. It's a lot of things. Then you forget it when you go back out.
Swing and a miss. Cutter. And Crooks put up a fight, but he's retired on 8 pitches. And 2 men are out in the Cardinals' 5th. Let's step aside for a quick word from Jack in the Box.
Don't get FOMO. Get my Philly-style bonus Jack combos and new Philly Munchie Meal.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
JJ has struck out and walked. 59 walks out of the leadoff spot. That's the most for a Cardinals rookie since Don Blasingame had 70 walks as a rookie in 1958. So at this pace, you figure JJ will fly by that.
Well, patience, such a virtue in general, but for a rookie to be able to slow the game down, to be able to be as selective as JJ has, truly impressive. And even in some times where the hits aren't piling up for him and maybe he's going through a tougher time, He's done a really nice job of still staying selective. And you see the numbers post All-Star break, 16.5% walk rate. Pretty high clip there.
So Wheeler's buzzed the tower twice. Outfield very deep for the Cardinals rookie second baseman. Wheeler sets. Long inning for him. And a ground ball past Bowman to right field. Prieto a good jump. He'll sprint toward third. And Weatherholt has a 2-out hit. So Wheeler 20 pitches in the inning. That might be taking a toll here. He's given up bookend singles in a tie game.
Well, Wheeler ends up getting a ground ball that he wanted, but the ground ball found itself a hole. It was a cutter, maybe caught more of the plate than expected. Easy first and third right there by Prieto. JJ happy about this and keeping the line moving.
So the Phillies want to talk this scenario over. You've got Herrera, then you've got Burleson, right guys up at the right time for St. Louis, trying to break a 1-1 tie game. This is the matchup we talked about at the start of the broadcast. The repertoire of Wheeler dovetails perfectly with what Ivan Herrera likes to do. So let's see what happens after the meeting. Let's see if Wheeler changes his approach against Herrera. He has gotten him twice, including once into a double play.
Well, you know what Ivan wants to do? He wants to be able to get extended, right? So Wheeler is going to have to be able to ride that fastball in, that sinker in on the hands of Ivan. Ivan's done a good job of not expanding in there off the plate. We know he's been hit by a bunch of pitches, but that's a danger zone when you're trying to ride the fastball in. You miss over the plate, Herrera could put a hurting on it.
Tons of room in left center for him. Room on the right side of the infield. And they go in. And he missed a sinker. Steve, Reich one.
That's the exact pitch we were just talking about. Wants to be able to get in there. You'd love to be able to lay off of it. Couldn't do so. Got some real arm side run there from Wheeler.
That stayed high. He didn't chase it. One ball, one strike. So Wheeler now third time through the order. The Cardinals making him work. He's piled up a bunch of pitches in this fifth inning. Up to 73 now. This is the 25th of this inning. And it missed.
That's a huge take right there. That is a big time take by Herrera, seeing that in off the plate.
Phillies are out of challenges. Now Herrera can take a shot if he wants to. Burleson on deck.
Nice weapon to have. Now it's battle time. There wasn't too much you're going to be able to do with that at the bottom of the zone anyways.
The old 3-1 automatic fastball has gone the way of the dodo bird.
Yeah, that's not a thing anymore. I would actually love to see the percentages overall in baseball. 3-1 count, what it looks like pitch selection wise.
Payoff. Swing and a shot into center. Herrera with a lightning bolt. Prieto scores and the Cardinals are back in front. He got a good one to hit and he didn't miss it. RBI number 51.
Chip, we just talked about how Herrera is going to want to get extended. You knew that Wheeler was going to want to try to tie him up. Did so early, but finally got to something he could hit. Chevy pitch track, 96-mile-an-hour pitch away. Leaves the bat at 105 and gives the Cardinals the lead.
So his first hit of the season for Prieto. It turns into the second run of the game for the Cardinals. First big league run that Prieto has ever scored, and it's against Zach Wheeler. Now Burley's up, and a roller foul. Love the end of that replay from our great camera crew as Herrera stood at first base, the face of Ollie Marmol and Daniel Descalso looking at Herrera after he picked up the hit.
Yeah, so good. Very animated. You look at this group.
Yvonne saying something, I'm sure, that made those Cardinals coaches smile. So Wheeler's going to endure a 30-pitch inning at the least. He has surrendered the lead. Cardinals now with 4 hits and lead it 2-1. Swing and a fly ball. That's deep right center. That is down. 1 run scores. Here comes Herrera. He's around the bag. He is going to score standing up. Burleson, having a huge series, has driven home 5 runs, and the Cardinals now lead 4-1.
The Silver Slugger keeps on rolling. This is another one for Burleson. We talk about this all the time. He is a guy that he can hit in the zone, obviously, but out of it as good as anybody. This is letter high again, away from him, and he drives it out to the gap.
When he's going good, he's impossible to pitch to. Burley now with 83 RBIs. Cardinals with 3 runs in the 5th. And a shot to left. Walker a hit. Burleson's going to score. Jordan streaking around first. He's going to stand at second. And Wheeler, with 2 outs, has given up 4 straight hits and 4 runs.
That escalated quickly. The Cardinals offense, we're having a tough time figuring out Wheeler, as has most of the league. But this inning, rattling off hits, big hits. That was a sweeper down in the zone, too, that Jordan Walker must have been coming up there sitting on. Not a terrible pitch. Didn't get it to the corner, but got it down and able to drive it down the line.
Since the 1st of June, this is the 4th time Wheeler has allowed 4 runs or more in a game. From the start of the season until June 1st, Wheeler had allowed 4 or more just 3 times. So as we said, he's really good. His last 3 outings have been really, really rough. Counting today's play, he's given up 13 earned runs in about 15 innings. That is not like Zach Wheeler. And usually when Wheeler and Luzardo and Sanchez start, the Phillies win. Well, Sanchez started last night. The Cardinals won. Wheeler's pitching today. St. Louis leads 5-1.
Yeah, take it when you can get it, right? You know that times like this for a guy like Wheeler probably won't last that long. Cardinals will face him again at the end of this road trip. Seeing how things land for Wheeler, but just a really solid approach this inning. The Cardinals laid off a couple of pitches that they couldn't handle, a couple of pitchers' pitches that they did go after earlier in this ball game, and really made Wheeler work on this one. There is some action in the Phillies bullpen finally. That's going to be Raley up, the lefty.
Well, the Phillies bullpen has been awfully short. They might be short today. The Cardinals, though, made Wheeler work a long 5th inning. The Cardinals jumped all over him for 4 runs, 5 hits, 3 singles, 2 doubles. Kyle Leahy in line to win Game 3 as the Redbirds lead 5-1.
And just shows you how confident he has been in his stuff in the strike zone. He struck out 6. The changeup leaned on it more today than we've seen in the past, and it was a highly effective offering. 15 out of 20 first pitch strikes for Kyle Leahy. Got ahead, stayed ahead, and gave the Cardinals a chance. The offense finally took off, and as you mentioned, Chip, in line for the victory.
Bryce Harper leads off. He doubled and scored the lone Phillies run. Hits even 6 apiece as Justin Brule answers the Chevy call to the bullpen. Brule's been a multi-inning man for the Redbirds. The Phillies lineup has 4 consecutive left-handed batters coming up in the 6th. One more note on Leahy. Brad, last 2 starts, 10 innings, 14 strikeouts, no walks.
Huge. It's huge. We talk about it all the time of being confident enough to compete in the zone, and he does that. He's got confidence coming through the ears, which is a great thing. No arrogance, just he believes in himself, and he believes in the stuff, in attacking, and believes in the defense behind him that they're going to get the job done. 6 outs on the ground for Leahy in this ball game also.
Well, don't let the Phillies in with walks, but that's unfortunately the case for Brule. That was the problem last night. Caleb Ferguson in back-to-back outings with 3 walks. Brule passes Harper, who earns walk number 83 on the season. And Philly has its leadoff man aboard in the top of the 6th. Arise doubled home Harper. His first hit of the series, that snapped an 0 for 16. Ball 2. And Ollie had to tell Crooks, hey man, go out and talk to him. We'll buy some more time for Gordon Graceffo, who's gotten up very quickly. And while an exasperated Oliver Marmol looks on, we will step aside quickly for a word from BJC Healthcare.
Well, that's part of it as a young catcher too, is knowing when to go out there, when to talk to your guy, what he needs, when to slow the game down, and knowing each one of your guys too. How do you motivate? Is it a hey, pat on the back, you're good to go? Is it be able to jump them? But Ollie definitely wanted his young catcher to go out and talk to Brule. Hopefully some words of wisdom and a ground ball double play.
So whatever Jimmy said worked with that pitch. 2 balls and a strike. Harper at first, Arise ahead in the count in a 5-1 game. Sharply hit. Mason on a short hop. That'll turn into a double play. That worked out perfectly. And the Cardinals have turned 9 double plays against the Phillies in the series.
Well-timed conversation between Crooks and Brule. Your All-State good hands replay. Wisely played off the ground. This is a ball that Mason probably could have got to in the air had he wanted to, but he's playing the hop, gets the double play, shows off those good hands, the good arm, and the double play again for the Cardinals.
9 double plays. And Ollie loves smart baseball. That was a terrific example. More magical play by Mason Wynn at shortstop. Bryson Stott pushed off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. We have one more series left with the Phillies. It will be in Philadelphia at the end of our 3-city road trip. That's cute to the left side. And cut off by Prieto, and a big-time fastball to first will retire the side. Home 6th coming up. The Cardinals continue to lead.
Oh, I would.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Thank you, Bob Costas. You know he's fired up for what's on tap. We head to Chicago for a 3-game series with the battling Cubbies, and Chicago dogs await.
Well, it is always fun when the Cardinals and Cubs go at it. Looking forward to this trip. I know that the Cardinal faithful will travel north to Chicago. The Phillies travel to the bullpen. Brooks Raley, the Chevy call, came over from the Mets at the deadline, trying to bolster that bullpen.
And our apologies for the television schedule in Chicago. That's not Brad's or my fault. In the infinite wisdom of Major League Baseball, we have 3 different broadcast outlets at 3 different times for the same 3-game series. So, as they say in the industry, check your local listings for the game and time in your area.
Oh, I was going to say hang with them.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Mason Wynn takes outside, 2-2 your count.
Where do you check your local listings now?
Well, it used to be
the TV Guide.
Yeah, it used to be TV Guide. They used to print them in the newspaper too, as Mason chases a changeup and is retired for out number 1. Now when you get many newspapers, it's mostly ads and not news. That industry's changed.
For sure.
So I guess you'd have to look online.
Hey, Google it.
That's it. That's it. Blaze Jordan's going to hit for Prieto. Has had a special day today, his first big league run. Did you guys have TV Guide at your house?
Yeah, as a kid.
Vegas? Yeah.
As a kid, for sure. Had to know when your big time shows are playing.
All right, what was your big time show?
Man, I can't think of the ones. Like growing up as a kid, coming home, your typical Saved by the Bell,
Yeah.
your Family Matters, all of those ones, your TBS shows were there.
Andy Griffith and all that?
No, not that far back, Chip.
They used to play that during and after Braves games and during rain delays.
Might have changed the channel then.
That's into center, and that's going to be caught on a slide by Crawford. A pretty play. Blaze Jordan is out number 2.
I'm trying to think of what else was the appointment TV back in the day.
A-Team with Mr. T?
No, not quite there.
You missed out.
You know what I did remember as a kid, though? I don't remember it great, but Knight Rider.
Oh, yeah, okay.
With Kit.
The car?
Yeah. Remember that one.
Fermin's the batter. Baywatch and Charlie's Angels were particular favorites.
Okay. Yeah, solid.
Yeah.
Very good.
That's in for a strike. When I was a real little kid, my dad and I used to watch Johnny Quest. Great cartoon.
Okay.
That's back in the day, Brad, when they had maybe 4 channels.
All your big networks.
No remote control.
Okay. Bunny ears on the TV, a little aluminum foil.
Yeah, but the parents had remote controls. That was the kid.
That's right.
Hey, Chip, get up and change the channel.
It is funny now. I don't know if funny is the right word, but that kids don't even know what commercials are. Like, what do you mean?
What's
I mean,
that?
it's like an ad on YouTube? No, well, yes. A little longer. Just be patient. Get to it.
Swing and a miss as the Cardinals are done in inning number 6. The Redbirds are trying to take care of the Phillies in a very important series in St. Louis.
Welcome to Jock in the Box.
When we get home from our long upcoming road trip, the Pirates will be in town for the weekend. August 29th is a Saturday, and that day fans take home a stylish Cardinals purse that's courtesy of Edward Jones. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Burrow back to work for St. Louis. And the Phillies go to their bench. Marsh will be taken down after an 0 for 2 day. Brian De La Cruz grabs a bat. Phillies in a stretch of 13 games in 13 days. It has taxed their bullpen. They're not going to get any sympathy from the Cardinals, who started the second half of this year. By that I mean after the All-Star break, with 20 games in 20 days. They made it through that marathon stretch.
Yeah, 13 seems like some light work at that point, but it's certainly not light work when your bullpen has been taxed a lot, trying to figure out some things. As you mentioned, bullpen a little bit more rest the last couple of games here for Don Mattingly's team. They were so taxed in game 1 of this series that had it gone to extras, it was going to be Garrett Stubbs who was coming in to pitch, the catcher in extras.
Well, the schedule for Philly gets no easier, and we point that out because the Phillies, one of the teams the Cardinals are chasing. They've got Minnesota, Miami, the Cardinals, and then a Western trip to Seattle, the Angels, and Arizona. And then all those games with the Braves in September. That one rifled toward right. Walker on the run, still going. He dives! What a catch! Jordan Walker takes away a double. What a play!
Chip, everything about this as a right fielder has to be right. The jump, the angle, the timing, your Budweiser play of the game, all of those things in one play for Jordan Walker.
Listen to the crowd in St. Louis. Brule loves it. And he will leave. The Cardinals make a pitching change in the 7th inning. It'll be Gordon Graceffo with Real Muto and Bohm coming up. The Redbirds protecting a 5-1 lead. Wow.
Yours.
This has been a fun series for the Cardinals. An exasperating game 1, a thrilling finish last night, and a big St. Louis 5th against Zach Wheeler. A 5-1 Cardinal lead in game 3 for Gordon Graceffo, who answers the Chevy call to the pen.
Well, this you mentioned it coming in. This is a big series. Anytime you get a chance to chase somebody down in the wild card race, you want to be able to take advantage of it, but you knew that it wasn't going to be easy, especially the couple of starters they rolled out yesterday and today. But the Cardinals have figured out a way. I just love the energy in which this team has played all season long. I mean, it's very apparent when you're watching this club. They enjoy putting in the work. Like, they enjoy each other. Even just seeing after Herrera had the hit, and we were showing Ollie and Descalso there with some of the back and forth and the antics. Like, this group enjoys coming to the ballpark. They like working. It's been a joy to watch them all season long, and looking forward to seeing this stretch run.
Real Muto pops one back and out of play off to our right. Oh, and a fan tried to make a catch with the cap. And came up empty. Brant Brown had a good game plan today. The long inning for Wheeler, 35 pitches in the 5th, saw St. Louis send 8 to the plate. They wore him down. And Wheeler, one of the best pitchers in baseball. Kyle Leahy outpitched him. Kyle with 5 innings of 6 strikeout, no walk ball. Wheeler 5 runs in his 5 innings. Two balls, 2 strikes for JT Realmuto. On the ground, JJ perfectly positioned. And Graceffo gets the first. Out number 2 in the 7th. Cardinals can win today. They will have won 7 of 10 games. They're settling in after the break. And after the trade deadline, Bohm takes a little low. 1 ball, no strikes. And something else that was interesting too, Brett, I think if you asked our younger players, honestly, if the trade deadline was nerve-wracking for them, they'd all say yes. Those that are still here. First time many of those guys have been through that. And I think the knowledge of knowing that this is going to be their home for the rest of this season and they're going to try to grow together and fight for a playoff spot has allowed that big elephant in the room to walk away and they can focus on just playing baseball.
Yeah, and when you say younger players, you mean the roster, like essentially,
yeah,
because it's pretty much everybody. It really is.
One ball, 2 strikes for Alec Bohm, who's 2 for 2 today. He made a critical error that led to the first Cardinals run in the 2nd inning. Didn't chase that. It's 2-2. It will be fascinating to see how the Phillies defense holds up with all the realignment that's taken place with the acquisition of Arise, Harper and right, Bohm at first. Stotts answered the bell at third base. He's been very impressive, I think. And then they got to get Trey Turner on the beam. It's been an up and down year, we're told, defensively for him, both with the glove and with the throws.
Yeah, there are many, though, around the club that think that defensively they could be better right now after the acquisition of Arise. Get Bohm over there doing his thing at first base. Harper back to the outfield. At the end of it, yeah, defense is going to matter. Certainly, it always matters for everybody, especially in October.
Yep.
Defense is going to be big. But if they have the starting pitching that they have and they're healthy and the big boppers are rolling, watch out. I mean, this team's got everything that you would want to have.
Another 3-2 pitch, the 7th of the sequence, and Bohm shatters his bat. That one up the middle. JJ's got it, throws, and in time, and that will retire the side. Bohm shot it through the 5-hole, but JJ Weatherholt sends us to the stretch with a 4-run lead.
To discover.
St. Louis Cardinals baseball is presented by Jack in the Box. Jack's new Philly-style bonus Jack combo. Shaved steak, grilled onions and peppers, and melty cheese starting at $5.99. And by Budweiser, this Bud's for you. The Cardinals lead the Phillies in Game 3 of our series, trying to win the series outright today. It's a 5-1 score.
What do we got going on there, Chip?
Is that, I assume that's an alligator? I can't see the arms. Could be a T-Rex.
Yeah.
Could be a Galapagos lizard.
I know it's very simple, but I struggle between the alligator and the crocodile oftentimes.
Oh, that's easy.
Okay, what do you got?
That's easy. Hang on a minute. Jimmy Crooks leads off. Alvarado, the new pitcher for the Phillies. He answers the Chevy call. Alligator has a rounded nose.
Okay.
Crocodile has a much more triangular, pointy nose.
Okay.
That's how you know.
Now I know. So, going back to this gentleman's nose, alligator seems rounded.
Have to take another look. Where's Marlon Perkins in Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom when you need him? Or Jim? Watch Jim wrestle that 40-foot-long python. Crooks on the ground is second. Arise will scoop that up. And his throw on the money. There's out number 1. That's how we kick off our Honda home run inning. If somebody can go deep for the Cardinals, your Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah, alligator for sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Very rounded nose. Could be a dinosaur, as you mentioned. Either way, it's a commitment and a decision. Is it a good one? Tough to say. Also, a commitment and a decision. It's a hot day. It's a muggy day. Going with fuzzy headwear. Dedicated to it, though. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Chip, you've done it.
We'll see the Fanatic. Yeah, we wear the bird hat. I got to remember to pack that in the backpack for the road trip.
Yeah, that's carry-on only. You're not checking cargo like that.
No, that'll get stolen for sure.
Valuable piece.
Now that's the Fanatic hat giveaway. I think that the Phillies had. We had the Fredbird hat.
Yeah, the kids' hat.
Yeah, it was a good-looking lid. See?
The Fanatic's got some good gear.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be honest.
Yep.
The Fanatic does it as well as anybody. Classic look. Love that hat.
That's a good one. I'm not much of a hat wearer, so I'm going to ask because I don't know.
Yeah.
On a hot day, does wearing a hat make you actually cooler, or does it not hold the heat?
Well, it's got to be blocking the sun, right?
Well,
Like
I get that part.
I'm only a ball cap kind of guy. Like, I can't pull off anything else.
Okay.
Like any of those hats, like your fisherman hats, or the ones that people wear that sometimes they make them look cool. I can't do that.
Another walk for JJ.
And when you got, hair like that, good hair, you don't need a hat. Forget it. Sometimes you do. Don't wear one, doesn't matter.
We had Indiana Jones here earlier.
Oh,
Saw
yeah.
that hat. That was a good one.
Good looking hat.
Here's Herrera, an RBI single off Wheeler in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 3 and 3 for 12 in the series. Not surprisingly, the Cardinals trying to win 7 of 10 games. Why? Well, this guy's slugging, Burleson is slugging, and Walker's slugging. Weatherholt stole a base very easily, his 13th. JJ trying to become the first Cardinals rookie with a 2020 season. 16 homers and now 13 bags. That's an unselfish play by Herrera. Gave up the strike to hit with a man in scoring position. Cardinals do such a good job with the behind the scenes work, the little tiny win on the margins kinds of things that they notice when they scout their opponents. That man works tirelessly on pitchers' tells.
Yeah, this group, they work so hard at the little stuff behind the scenes. Stubby Clapp, Pop Warner on the corners over there at third and first base. Tireless work put in, and it's the minutia, right? It's the little tiny details that end up being the difference oftentimes in a win or a loss in a big league ball game.
John Jay, his work with the Cardinals outfield crew. Brandon Allen with Brant Brown with the Cardinals hitters. They've done a great job. They really have. Youngest team in the big leagues at 500 and trying to get above and give themselves a shot in the final 41 games to play meaningful games in September. And Herrera takes ball 4. So here comes Burleson. Lefty for Alec. Let's see if he can have a multi-hit game. He's your Bet365 betting odds for 2 or more hits. Career high 83 RBIs. We talked about some of the possibilities for St. Louis this year. JJ maybe a 2020 season. Burleson and Walker potentially 100 RBI men. That would be great.
Well, that was, I mean, it was one of the bigger questions this year. Where's this offense going to come from? How is this group going to be able to produce? Now, when Jordan Walker is having the breakout season that he has, boy, that answers a whole lot of questions. Burley picking right up where he left off.
Sharply hit right field, a base hit. Weatherholt around third. He will score. Harper's throw into second. Burleson goes lefty and drives home his 3rd run.
Well, Chip, the at-bats left on left have been a whole lot better as of late for Alec Burleson, and this one is hangs on sinker at 97. Chevy pitch track here from Alvarado. Just a hard ground ball right through the hole to bring in another one.
The Cardinals, I believe, 5 for 9 now with runners in scoring position. They've outscored the Phillies 6-1, and now Alvarado will get a break. Chase Sugart is throwing in the Phillies bullpen. Burleson with his 10th game of 3 or more RBIs this season. That's how you get to 100 runs batted in. Have some big games and a lot of them, and Alec has done that. And maybe a good sign for the Cardinals, who head to Wrigley next for 3 day games against the Cubs, who are rolling, by the way.
Yeah, well, that slugging is going to be big at Wrigley Field. You know how that place plays, Chip, as well as anybody. Start getting the ball in the air, great things can happen. And for your pitching staff, keep the ball on the ground, good things will happen. And the Cardinal staff has done a really good job of that all season long.
Real Muto pops in front of the plate with some defensive signals. Cloud cover breaking at the ballpark. Bright sunny skies at the moment for Walker. And nowhere near 1 ball, no strikes. Walker 3rd in RBIs in the National League behind C.J. Abrams and Sal Stewart of Cincinnati. Grounded foul. We've talked about the bookend portions of the road trip. Let's not forget we've got 5 games in Cincinnati in the middle of the road trip. You talk about the opportunities for offensive explosions. That's one of the best ballparks to hit.
It is. But 5 games, doubleheader on Monday there. Can take a toll on a pitching staff also, so you're really going to want to be able to lean on your starting staff. Doubleheader day, you'll end up having a 27th man, so that certainly helps from a pitching standpoint.
The Phillies are out of challenges. 2 balls and a strike.
JT Realmuto not happy with that call down and in. Remember, he had a couple early in this ball game that were overturned, that were well in the strike zone.
That almost got Herrera. Yeah, that's been kind of a point of contention for some in Philadelphia. They think that JT's not aggressive enough with his challenges behind the plate. But a few early helped out the Phillies' Zach Wheeler. But they are out. The 3-2. Downstairs. Alvarado has issued 3 walks in the inning. And Don Mattingly doesn't want to, but he may have no choice but to go get Alvarado. He has faced 5 batters. He retired 1 of them. The Cardinals a chance to put this one away in the 7th inning, leading 6-1.
What's a Yowa?
Quite frankly, that's the best hat in the ballpark. The ever-present and oh so beloved bird hat on a hot day in St. Louis. The Redbirds have gone bananas on the Phillies in the 2nd and 3rd games of this series. And now Chase Sugar enters with a big mess on his hands. 1 run in. The bases loaded, 1 out. And Nathan Church coming up.
Well, Sugart in on the action. 3 games for him in August. ERA around 5. Has inherited a couple of runners. Both have scored. Love to see all 3 score here.
Swing and a drive hit high in the air toward right. Harper on the run. He's going to get there. He slides to the edge of the warning track. That will drive home Herrera. A sacrifice fly for Nathan Church to extend the lead. Harper really chugging out there in right. There's been some whispers he's playing with a sore leg, but he was able to make a nice running catch for out number 2.
Yeah, first couple of steps a little slower. Did have the closing speed to get there. Nice job by him to range into the gap. And a nice job by Church to do the job. Get the ball in the air, drive in another run.
Enjoy Jim Hayes' report on Mason Wynn with runners in scoring position. He's got another one here in the Cardinals' 7th. Redbirds scored 1 in the 2nd, 4 in the 5th, 2 so far here in the 7th inning. Mason with an RBI in 4 straight games. He'll try to make it 5 in a row here with a 2-out knock. He also has a 5-game hit streak. Harper running toward the line. That one curling. He adjusts on the fly and makes the grab. And that will retire the side. Alvarado walks 3. The Cardinals score 2 of them. And we're on our way in game 3. St. Louis 7, Philly 1.
Good.
The Grand Slam ticket package is back at the Marriott St. Louis Grand. Get a great room for a great price that includes 2 Cardinals tickets, food and beverage credit, and a whole lot more. Get your info at MarriottStLouisGrand.com. Gordon Graceffo back to work. Justin Crawford leads off. He's the Phillies' 9th place hitter. The Redbirds 1 defensive change. Everson Pereira is in left. Foul back. It's 0-2.
Tightening up defensively. He made a monster play in center field, robbed some extra bases, then hit himself a home run. Pretty nice day at the yard.
Crawford 0-2. Graceffo turns her loose and taken low. Important games in the wild card chase later on tonight. The Pirates visit Miami. Pittsburgh is staggering. They've lost 6 of their last 7 games. That one is corked into shallow right. Good read, Walker. And he thought about sliding but didn't need to. That's a nice play. That's out number 1. And speaking of nice plays, what a job Ryan Stanek did to save the day last night.
Bases loaded, nobody out. I mean, this looked like trouble. Not so much. The 3-2-3 double play, big time. Get 2 outs, and then JT Realmuto gets him to fly out. Gets out of it unscathed. The roar coming off the mound from Stanek. That was big time right there.
Yeah, Jim, that was one of the best moments of the season for Ryan Stanek, and boy, do the Cardinals need it.
Yeah, really emotional for him. I love that he just kind of let it hang out. Ollie Marmol loved it as well. Ollie says getting the double play was impressive, but staying locked in enough to get the next guy is really difficult. He said a lot of times it's that next guy that gets the big hit, but yeoman's work by Stanek.
And same for Graceffo, who's retired 4 in a row. He's gotten 3 groundouts to second. And in a game like this really allows the Cardinals to get their bullpen shuffle in order. You don't have to use all your big guns in this game. You've got a day off tomorrow, and that's really, really important with that doubleheader looming in Cincinnati. And that's what's so great about baseball, I think, Brad. Today's game impacts what happens the next 4 or 5 days, not just today.
Well, and that's something that obviously from a fan base side, you don't dig into that part as much. From a managerial side and from a coaching staff standpoint, they're looking far ahead. They're looking down the road. They're looking when off days are. They're looking at, for your bullpen, not only games that they've been in, not only pitches that they've thrown in the games, but how many times they warm up, how many pitches did they throw there, what does the feedback look like from, out there by Julio Rangel, the bullpen coach. Like, there's so many different variables that you have to factor in to get through a full season.
Tony and Dave Duncan had all the bases covered, obviously, in their Cardinals Hall of Fame careers. Was that something you guys kept track of even back in the days when you pitched?
Well, yeah, Marty Mason was the bullpen coach while I was there, and he did. I mean, he's keeping track of ups and downs and pitches. Now, I don't know if everything was charted to the same extent as it is now, but it's always been important, but never more than now.
Well, we'll see if Graceffo finishes out this game. The Cardinals lead by 6. Bottom 3 for the Cardinals. They are blasting the Phillies 7-1 in Game 3. Shugart, I beg your pardon, is still out there for Philadelphia. Blaze Jordan is up for his second trip and takes a strike. Jordan, Pereira, and Jimmy Crooks. We got a tongue twister lineup. We got a Herrera and a Pereira, or Pereira.
I think you got it. I think you nailed it right now.
One ball, 2 strikes. And Jordan, a rare strikeout. That's 3 up, 3 down for Shugart. Here is Everson. He's had a big series.
Well, last night a huge night, ranging into the gap. This one had extra bases written all over it. The perfectly timed jump, though, robs him. I think he's pumped up. And then a little insurance needed, a little insurance purchased. Dead center field for the shot. That was a big time. And look, he's been able to step up. Great defensive outfielder. Certainly has some power and look for an opportunity here in St. Louis.
5 homers, 12 RBIs with the Cardinals and the White Sox. And this one is going to try to split the gap, and it will. Pereira around first has another hit. What's so intriguing about this kid, obviously his defense. He's been around. It's not his first time in the show. But you look for guys that can give your regular players some rest. He can handle left, and more importantly, he can handle center for St. Louis. He's a glove first guy, and the bat tool is coming along. So good day for Everson. Crooks next. And he wears one on the arm.
'97 here from Shugart. That's going to catch Crooks in that right shoulder.
JJ, 2 more runs scored today. He's singled, he's walked, he's stolen a base. JJ Weatherholt scored 77 runs.
Well, he's been racking up the walks as well, Chip. Pretty impressive, the patience here for JJ.
He's up to 60 of those on the season. And that's what makes him so fun to watch. Even, as you said, when he's not put together big base hit ball games, he can still contribute offensively by getting on and running the bases well and scoring.
Yeah, he does all those things, and he sees a lot of pitches generally. I mean, he makes a pitcher work. He's not going out there and swinging out a lot of these pitchers' pitches, getting himself out.
Cardinals and Phillies were tied 1-1 in the 5th inning. Cardinals got 4 runs in that frame, 2 in the 7th. They threatened to add more here in the 8th. As I said, just 2 homestands left. Good to see the Cardinals put together some big offensive games in this series and in this pitcher's park. And how do you do that? Well, good approach. Draw your walks, split gaps, hit well with 2 strikes. They've done that against Philly.
Certainly have. We showed the numbers there with JJ, seeing 3.94 pitches per plate appearance. That's above the league average. He's seen 4 or more pitches in each plate appearance today.
And they'll ring him up. He takes strike 3. Second strikeout for Weatherholt and for Shugart. And 2 outs. Ivan Herrera. Herrera has had a big series. He scored 8 runs on the homestand. Leading up to this series, he had scored 7 times from the All-Star break to the beginning of this 6-game set at Busch Stadium. And as I said earlier, I'll repeat it here. When your top 4 hitters are slugging, your offense is going to look really good, and it's going to be fun. And it looks like right now, Brad, all 4 of those guys are starting to get in sync together. Good pitch, 1 ball, 1 strike. Alec Burleson would be next. He's 4 for his last 5 with runners in scoring position. Burley with 5 hits, 6 RBIs in this series. To center. Well hit. Crawford retreats. Warning track. Leaps at the wall and hauls that in to retire the side. Right now, even Herrera's outs are loud. The Cardinals go to the 9th with a 6-run lead. Well, coming up on the Cardinals postgame presented by Car Shield, Danny Wexel and Mark Sweeney will have a lot of fun stuff to talk about. How about Kyle Leahy with his 7-run offensive barrage? I don't think Kyle's gotten enough attention for how he outpitched one of the game's greats, Zach Wheeler, today.
I would agree with that. Leahy was rolling again and trying to keep that workload down. They got him out of there early. Luis Gastelum is in on the action, his 14th game of the season. We got to see Gasty in game 1 here against the Phillies, and Chip, it's the best that we've seen him. His fastball was effective. The changeup worked off of it. Inning and a third, 3 strikeouts. Big changeup there. First pitch to Bryce Harper. Hopefully some confidence grew from that outing.
Luis has given up his share of hits and runs in the early days as a big league pitcher, but now learning how to set up that devastating changeup, and it's getting better. That's the whole purpose of this season. That's the whole purpose of opportunities for this young man, whom the Cardinals feel is going to be a big part of their bullpen going forward. Quickly, 2 strikes for Bryce Harper, who's doubled in 3 trips to the plate today.
It'll be interesting to see right here how he wants to go about it, right? Back-to-back changeups to get him 0-2. Does he use that fastball now to set up the next one? Maybe go up top with the heat, then go back to the changeup, maybe even gets him to swing through one of those fastballs.
Did you have an aha moment like the one we're hoping Gastelum is starting to see as a relief pitcher, where, hey, my stuff plays and I know how to use it? Was there a moment as a big league pitcher?
For me, I realized early on, with the help of Dave Duncan, that my stuff could play in the zone. Like, hey, ball moves around so much, let it play, right? Because if I aim down the middle, it wasn't going to land there. And by the way, Gasty stuff is like that too. Aim down the middle, it won't end up being there. But I learned even more as I went on that I shouldn't try to be too fine, because then I would try, especially when I was starting, I'd try to like start on the corner, and then I'd find myself 1-0, 2-0, and then it's danger zone. Try to get back into the count. That's where you end up getting hurt. And a lesson that I always just try to tell myself is, hey, be aggressive, get ahead. And that was kind of the aha of, yeah, like pitching is moving the ball around and not being predictable, but you can't be scared to go within that zone too, within that strike zone.
So after getting ahead 0-2, he walks Bryce Harper. An inauspicious 9th inning start. Arise is coming up. Gotta wonder what Gastelum will say after the game. Is if it was, oh my God, that's Bryce Harper up there. That's part of the game too, right?
It is. It is. These are the guys that you've been growing up watching on TV, trying to be like, emulating in the backyard, playing like you're striking some of these guys out. That's a real moment. My first moment like that was getting to face Ken Griffey Jr. Like, oh my goodness. Up there, probably a huge smile on my baby face.
How'd it go?
Wonder if he'll sign my rookie card. Ground ball to second, Chip.
Nice. Church to center. Turned the wrong way, but recovers in time. Arise. Well, the Cardinals did a number on him in this series in 3 games. Arise came in leading the league in hitting. He had 1 hit. 1 hit in 13 trips to the plate. More of that, please. 1 on, 1 out. And Stott is next. That's out of play. Phillies will stay in town tonight. They'll fly to Iowa in the morning, play the Twins in the Field of Dreams game, then move up to Minneapolis, while we get set for the Cubs in Chicago. Rolled over foul, 0-2. There's the changeup. It was said all the time of Trevor Hoffman in San Diego, the great Hall of Fame closer, he had a devastating changeup. It was so good you knew it was coming and you still couldn't time it. And Gastelum threw 3 in a row to Stott and strikes him out. So the Cardinals are 1 out away from a big and important series win against one of the teams in front in the playoff race.
Well, that was a good look at the grip of the changeup from Gastelum. Really pronates, gets on top of that ball, that tumbling action away from the left-handed hitters.
Brian De La Cruz, the final hope for Philly. A little over 22,000 here. We're out away from enjoying Kyle Leahy's 9th win, and the Cardinals a 61st win of the season.
Something different, right? The sweeper, a different shape, nice location.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. What a way to end it. What a series for the Cardinals. They take 2 out of 3. They win games against Philadelphia when Christopher Sanchez and Zach Wheeler start a 7-1 final today, and off we go to Chicago on a very high note.
Well, just an incredibly well-pitched ball game for the Cardinals. Leahy got things started, and then the offense really picked it up in the 5th inning. It was a 4-run 5th that ended up being the difference. The Cardinals were able to tack on. They played tight defense. They did all the little things that you'd want them to see. Game 1 of the series, a bit of the oddity, right? A couple of defensive miscues for the Cardinals. They went right back to work and ended up winning another series.
So the Cardinals hold the Phillies to 1 or fewer runs in back-to-back games, and with the win, right now the Cardinals 3 out of the wild card, pending the outcomes of Arizona, San Diego, and Miami action a little bit later on. And as we said, Brad, 41 games left to go. The Cardinals on a nice roll. They've won 7 out of 10. That's the kind of stretch you need at least a couple of times if you have a realistic shot in September to fight for a spot in that final week.
It is for sure, and you got to figure out to win different ways. There are going to be times, there have been times where the offense has carried you, the pitching has carried you, a little bit of both in this ball game, and certainly Alec Burleson, Chip, had a whole lot to do with it here today. He had himself another great one. The big 2 RBI double, that in the 5th inning was huge. An RBI single in the 7th. Went up and hit one that was letter high to drive in a couple of runs. I mean, this guy just continues to do his thing.
46 hits, Jim Hayes, with runners in scoring position this year, and 6 RBIs against the Phillies as the Cardinals win the series.
Yeah, another big day for Alec Burleson. You guys hung a 5 spot on one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. What was the approach against Wheeler?
We had a little bit of a mixed watch on him. And his heater was good today, so we had to honor that. But I think we strung together really good at bats. I think we saw a lot of pitches, and it was a really good team approach today.
Yeah, big 5th inning for you guys. To see Prieto get it going with his first hit of the season, I could see everyone was enjoying that.
Yeah, definitely. He's probably had more, diving plays.
Church is getting soaked over there. Well, not you.
Well, the camera people came over here, but. Yeah, I feel like he's had a lot of diving plays made on him. Stuff didn't get through the hole, so yeah, super happy for him, and we're all pulling for him for sure. 9th straight start for Leahy, where he's given up 2 runs or less. How good has he been? Yeah, he's been great. Obviously, filling up the zone with all of his pitches, and we're playing really good defense behind him. So super happy for everybody. This is a big team win, big series win too. Yeah, you guys have been getting series win against very good teams. What's ahead for this ball club? I think we're just going to keep putting our best foot forward. We're going to keep, playing baseball how we want to play it, keep stringing together good at-bats, keep pitching well, and see how it turns out in the end. But, it's a really fun group, and I think we got a lot of talent, and we're just going to continue to build on that. Thanks, Burley. Appreciate it. Jim. Thanks. All right, guys.
Cat, thank you very much. Brad, pitch it, catch it, hit it. That's a good recipe for success. The Cardinals have won 7 of 10, and off we go for a long road trip to Chicago, Cincy, and Philadelphia. It'll be a happy flight to Wrigley. We are off on Friday. We'll join you again Saturday. Our coverage at 12:45 from the friendly confines for the second game of that 3-game series with the Cubs. The Cardinals beat Zach Wheeler. 7-1 is your final. Off we go to the Windy City. We'll see you there. Thanks for joining us. The Cardinals post-game show with Danny and